Fellas, welcome back to episode 13 of the MK MMA podcast. I can't begin to thank you guys enough for all the love and support you guys showed last week. It was my best episode yet, and I'm just happy that you guys are enjoying it more and more as the weeks go on. And it just keeps making me loving to do this more. So I can't thank you guys enough. I hope you guys liked that episode. It was just, me rambling about the UFC Fight Night at Qatar, and then just talking about my opinions for what should be next for the lightweight and welterweight division. Pretty crazy what fights got announced during that. I was not expecting it to be Patty versus Justin Gaethje for the interim belt. It sucked to see that Ilya was also going to be on hold for a while because he's just getting his personal life back in order, and you gotta do that. That's the most important thing when it comes to one person as their own, So I'm glad he has his priorities straight, and I'm itching to have him come back soon. I'm sure as much you guys are as well. Some comments, though, were a bit crazy last week, telling me to take my socks off and stuff. That was pretty sketchy, man. I don't know what was going on there, but nah, fade that, man, fade. All right, but anyways, have you guys enjoyed it? Thank you for the support. I hope you guys are excited for this one. We are talking about UFC 323. It is going to be an unbelievable card, dude. I am so excited for this. One of my favorite UFC fighters is headlining in the co-main event. Alexandre Pantoja, you got Merab closing it out as the main event, and it's just going to be it's just going to be a banger. It's just going to be insane, in my opinion. The whole main card is just loaded. And then if you go through the prelims, you got Grant Dawson in there. You got Terrence McKinney, who's awesome as well. I like him a lot. His personal story and how he fought through adversity in his own life to make it to the UFC and be able to treat himself and make a living off this is just amazing. And then you got Marvin Vettori. I know he's kind of washed now, but you got Marvin Vettori in the early prelims, which is just crazy. And then you got Jalen Turner coming back from retirement against Edson Barboza. That's a fun fight as well, So there's just so much to go on and so much to talk about in this, and I can't wait to talk with you guys more about this card. It's just gonna be amazing. But I'll just kick it off with the prelims real quick. Just Barboza versus Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's already a heavy favorite at minus 258. That's just gonna be a fun fight. I know Edson Barboza is just he's trying to get back in that win column. He's just been he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and he's just getting fights underneath his belt now. Probably just trying to make a paycheck, just keep making his living off it, and that's it. Definitely not going to see him come back in the rankings, in my opinion, just because his time is up, in my opinion, and I think it's been up. But, it's going to be a fun fight. You get to see Barboza back in action against an unretired Jalen Turner. It's just going to be great. But, yeah, we're not going to discuss that any more further. Just look out for that fight. And then another fight to look out for is the Marvin Vettori fight. He's fighting a good up-and-coming guy. Vettori's a slight favorite. I'm pretty sure that Marvin Vettori's, he's trying to get back in the win column. He's on a 3-fight losing streak. I did not know it was that many. I knew he was coming off a loss, but I did not know it was 3 in a row. But man, hopefully he can figure it out. He's dropped back all the way to 14. Just gonna be interesting, to say the least, of how that fight will go. Hopefully he can get back in the win column and then make a slight middleweight run again back into the top 10 after that fight, get a better fight after that and whatnot. So we'll just see how that goes, So anyways, let's go to the prelims now. You got Terrence McKinney versus Chris Duncan. That's a great fight, in my opinion, and I don't know that much about Chris Duncan. I've seen him on fights, just haven't really paid attention to him that much. I mean, I just haven't paid attention to him that much, So, Terrence McKinney, he's been back and forth in the win and loss column in the UFC. Still a great young fighter. He's on a 2-fight win streak now, just coming off a submission and a TKO before that. It's just going to be a great fight. Chris Duncan's a slight favorite. I think Chris Duncan probably has more to his tool bag than Terrence McKinney does. I know, and because I just know that McKinney has gotten knocked out, his jaw's kind of gone away from those bad knockouts he's had given to him, like with that flying knee from a couple fights ago. That one was pretty gnarly. But watch out for that fight. It'll be another fun fight. It's a lightweight division. Gotta love that. Then you got Grant Dawson, versus Manuel Torres. Do not know who that is. Grant Dawson, I like him a lot. He's good on the ground. He's comfortable on the feet. He's a good favorite. Watch out for that. I think those 2 fights in the prelims and the 2 fights I just talked about, Barboza versus Jalen Turner and Vettori in the early prelims, there's just so much going on before the main card. And so we'll see how that goes. Enjoy that. I know I'm going to enjoy it. The fights are the fights are back in the U.S. It's in Las Vegas, and I mean that's Fight Central. That's a fight capital of the world right there. So I'm happy to see it back in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. It's just going to be awesome. But here we go. We'll pop up my record right here for my fight record, just of guessing fights, and I'm 18-6. Nothing changed from last week because there's no fights this past weekend from Thanksgiving. But I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving overall. I personally enjoyed it a lot. It was great to see all my friends again, catch up with them, see all my family. So I hope you guys enjoyed yours just as much as I did. And although we had a break from the UFC, still released that pod. Come on now, I won't take a break from that. We keep grinding here, So yeah, I'm 18-6 right now. Looking forward to getting that better after UFC 323. I'm so pumped for it, and I'm only going to be picking from the main card, not picking from any of those prelims or early prelims just because I'm not confident in it, So we're going to jump right into it. So that's we're closing that on the fight record, 18-6. Let's keep it at that. Now let's jump into the main card here real quick. We got Jan versus Bogdan Guskov. No clue who that guy is, but I'm just going to say rip Jan. He's minus 120. Don't know why. He is still like an insanely good fighter, in my opinion. I think he's gotten gypped in the past in some of his fights. He just lost to Olberg. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He hasn't fought. And I mean, I wouldn't say he hasn't fought in a while, but like he's only fought in 2 fights since 2023. Pereira and then Olberg. And those are 2 insanely good fighters. I mean, Pereira's the champion and Olberg's about to fight Pereira. So like he's lost to a champion and a number 1 contender. So I don't blame him for losing those fights, And he kind of got gypped against the Alex Pereira one. That's kind of a controversial fight to a lot of the people's eyes of the fans, So, but I don't know why he's like minus 120. If you guys know more about this than me, let me know in the comments down below. But like, I think that Jan is gonna win this by a landslide. I think he's gonna dominate him. I know Bogdan. I'm looking at it right now. He's 18-3. Let's see like what he's lost. I mean, not what he's lost, but how he's gone. He has 15 wins by knockout of his 18 wins. 3 wins by submission. So wow, he's finished all of his fights. That's pretty crazy. That kind of scares me too. I don't know why. Yeah, I did not know he's won all of his fights by finish. That's pretty nuts. So look out for that. I mean, I don't think he's going to knock out Jan. It's pretty hard to knock out Jan if Pereira and Olberg didn't knock him out. He's a tough motherfucker. So we're just going to see how that goes. I mean, Bogdan hasn't really fought anyone that's competitive in the light heavyweight division, so this is his first real test. He just cracked into the top 15, so we're just going to see how that goes. But yeah, give me Jan closing it out there. I think Jan's just going to look dominant on the ground, and if it's going to stay on the feet, he will be comfortable there because he was kind of comfortable against Olberg, and he outstruck Pereira a lot throughout the fight they had back in 2023. So like, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of that. But this is a fun one. Henry Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. That's a great fight. I think. I mean, Henry Cejudo, man, he's trying to get back in the win column. He's lost one, two, three. He's lost 3 in a row. His last win was back in 2020. He should have just never retired. I know he retired like on top. He cleaned all of the divisions, double champ. He's triple C. He retired, I guess, on a high, but I think he missed fighting and he wanted to make more money, and he came back. Lost to Sterling, lost to Merab. Those two are like one of the top guys to lose to. So, you can't blame him there. It's hard to come out of retirement and then fight Sterling. And I'm pretty sure that was for the belt also. And, and then fight Merab. And then Merab just absolutely dominated him too. He's lost all those fights by decision too. So it's not like he can't last throughout the whole fight. But Peyton Talbot, a big knockout artist. He's 10-1. He just got back in the win column from his last one, but he kind of looked pretty bad in that, in my opinion. He didn't look that great, and it was good for him to come back and get in the win column, but he looked bad in the fight before. I think he looked bad in 2 fights in a row. He's 1-1 in his last 2 fights, and I don't know. I see Henry Cejudo coming back and getting back in the win column here. I think Henry Cejudo is going to take him to the ground a lot, or just shoot at him at least. And I don't think Peyton Talbot has that good of takedown defense to be able to stop that. So give me Henry Cejudo, honestly. And Henry Cejudo, he can stay on the feet and do his thing, but he prefers to go to the ground and dominate there. And I think that's where Peyton Talbot's going to get beat a lot in this fight. So. We'll see. I know Peyton Talbot's way younger. He has a lot of hype. He is really good. He's a really good knockout artist. But I think he's just missing that ground game in his MMA build. So I think if you give me, I'm going to take Henry Cejudo. Like I just said, I think he's going to bring it to the ground, keep him down there, dominate him. But here's the thing: Henry Cejudo needs to throw in elbows, throw in strikes to be able to get those takedowns to look more dominant. You can't just take him down, lay on him, and then hope that wins you the fight. Because we just saw that with Almeida. Judges are not going to give that. And I think that was a big wake-up call to a lot of the wrestlers in the UFC. It's like, hey, if you're going to take them down, great. Takedowns can help you with stuff. But if you don't do anything, if you're not landing strikes, then it's going to be more controversial to give you that round, So we'll see. Henry Cejudo, hammer that. He's plus 230 too. Dude, parlay Jan and Henry Cejudo. And I bet it'll pay out well if that hits. But yeah, give me Henry Cejudo. That's a great fight. Can't wait for it. I think it's a great bantamweight fight. Peyton Talbot, if he wins, he gets ranked in the top 10 in the bantamweight division. So that's pretty crazy. So we'll see. All right. My guy, Brandon Moreno, he's finally back. I feel like I haven't seen him fight in so long. When's the last time he fought? All right, March of 2025, so not so long, but he's had 2 fights since 2024, November 3rd, and then March of 2025. He's on 2-fight win streak. That's great, man. Him losing to Royval was so upsetting. I really thought Moreno was going to win that back in 2024, but that's for another time. Anyways, Tatsuro Taira versus Brandon Moreno. Here's the thing, guys. I think Tatsuro got really exposed against Alexandra Pantoja in their last fight. And I also think that they just, giving him, oh my God, I'm thinking about the wrong guy. Sorry. But anyways, I don't know. Brandon Moreno, I think he's just really good. He's a really well-balanced flyweight fighter, and Taira is what? He just got back in the win column too, won by submission against a guy that was definitely like a less good of a fighter there. He's 17-1, and he has 8 wins by submission, 5 by knockout. That's 13 of his 17 wins there. That's really damn good. Sorry, I was thinking about the other guy for some reason. I don't know why, but anyways. But then Brandon Moreno, it's he's just a warrior, dude, and he doesn't know how to give up. He was a former champ. He's fought all the tough guys. He beat Usyk, lost to Royval. I mean, lost to Pantoja, but he beat him in the past. And I mean, he beat Figgy during his prime, and like beat Kai Kara-France, and like. I don't know who to take here, but I'm going to go Brandon Moreno. I think he's a warrior. He is destined to come back to fight for the flyweight title. I don't see any way around it. You know, he's a great guy. He's such a well-balanced fighter. He can take it to the ground. He can stay on his feet and beat you. But I think it could be a good grappling match too, because Tatsuro has a lot of wins by submission, and then I mean Brandon Moreno has 11 by submission too. So we'll see. I think Moreno just has more experience, you know, since been in the UFC a long time. He's fought all the big fighters. He knows how to fight guys with different types of fighting styles, and I think Brandon Moreno is just going to figure it out and know where he's going to be comfortable most throughout this fight, you know. So let me know what you think about this fight. I think this is the biggest toss-up of the night, in my opinion, and we will see. But, yeah, give me Brandon Moreno, and I hope he wins because I would love to see him make another title run. And I personally think that he should fight for the belt if he wins this fight, because him versus Alexandre Pantoja should happen again. I think it needs to happen again, man, because they won by that split decision when it was like one of the closest split decisions I've seen in a long time, and they haven't fought since. And I know I believe that was their third time fighting, because they fought on the Contender Series, I believe, and then they fought on a UFC card, and then they fought for that belt. And so I think they need to fight again if Pantoja wins this weekend and Moreno wins this weekend. So we'll see. But yeah, Moreno. Let's do it. My favorite fighter, Alexandre Pantoja versus Joshua Van. This is an amazing flyweight fight. I think this is going to be one of the best flyweight fights we've seen in years. And I mean years. Like, I don't know why. I think there's just something amazing about this. It's just Pantoja, he's been so dominant in the flyweight. He's starting to be considered the flyweight GOAT, in my opinion. Not saying other people are saying that. Maybe some people have, but I think if he wins this fight, you got to put him in that GOAT conversation, or he might be the GOAT after this. You know, Joshua Van, seeing him rise to the top was just crazy. Seeing them on this title run is just nuts. He beat Britain Royval on a short notice, and then he beat a couple guys before that from the Contender Series and everything like that. I think he is a very, very dangerous fighter. He's so scary on the feet. He only has 2 losses, and only was one of those come from the UFC? Yeah, one of those from the UFC, and it's just going to be crazy. I think Pantoja is going to win this fight, and I'll tell you this why. The reason why is because I think Joshua Van is missing his ground game. I think he's definitely working on it a ton, and definitely working on his takedown defense in this camp. But I think Alexandre Pantoja, he's exposed a lot of guys from not having a good ground game. And Pantoja, he can win on the feet, but he's also really dominant on the ground. He has 12 wins by submission and 8 by knockout. That's 20 of his 30 fights by finish. He has 10 first-round finishes, dude. It's nuts. And let's just go through the list real quick. He just beat Kai Kara-France. He beat Asakura. That's the guy I was thinking about. That's my bad on my part. He beat Usyk when Usyk was like one of the hottest names in the flyweight division back in 2024. He beat Brandon Royval, and then he beat Brandon Moreno to start his legacy run in the flyweight division. It's just crazy to me. He beat Royval twice, actually, and he beat Kape back in 2021. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The one guy he lost to was Figgy, and that was back in 2019. And to me, it looks like that's where Alexandra learned the most out of his whole career, from that loss. And it's just so nuts. Yeah, and he beat Moreno twice. It's just nuts, man. God, he's been in the UFC for so long, since 2017. Wow. But yeah, give me Alexander Pantoja. He is such a fun fighter, in my opinion. He needs a lot more respect for how well he's been in the UFC and how well he's been active for this flyweight division. I think he's added so much to UFC cards that were struggling to be stacked, and they add him as co-mains a bunch of the times. And yeah, Merab deserves to main event this one, but Alexandre, you got to give him his flowers for. I feel like he's done a lot for UFC, a lot of UFC cards, and I think this is going to be the best flyweight title fight in a long, long time. Joshua Van's scary on the feet. Pantoja's very, very well balanced everywhere, but he's strong on the ground game. I think Pantoja is going to submit Josh Van, but give me Alexander Pantoja money line. This is just going to be a fun fight. And what's next for Pantoja? I don't know. It would either be Moreno if Moreno wins, or I think he should bump up a weight class and fight Merab for the bantamweight belt for a super fight. I don't know. I think that would do numbers. I think that would be an awesome super fight that people are not looking at that much right now. So let me know what you think about that too. But yeah, that's the co-main for you guys, and let's just jump into the Merab versus Peter Yan rematch. I mean, this is just a banger. I mean, people love Peter Yan. He's gotten fucked over in the past in that Sugar Sean fight that made us climb back to the belt just even harder. And Merab is the most dominant bantamweight of all time, in my opinion. I think there's no question about it. I think he's obviously one of the best in the game right now. He is absolutely going crazy in the bantamweight division. He's dominating everyone, man. He just dominated Corey Sandhagen like it was just light work. Almost knocked him out in the second round too, and it was just nuts. He dominated Sugar Sean before that, dominated Umar, and then dominated Sugar Sean before that, dominated Henry Cejudo before that. What happened in their first fight with Peter Yan? Sorry, I don't really remember it that well because it was back in 2023, so it's been a while. But, dude, even Merab outstruck him 202 to 87. He took Peter Yan down 11 times, and Peter Yan took him down once. That's just so crazy. Oh, my God, he shot 49 times? Huh. He shot 49 times in one fight. That's crazy. But, holy crap, man. That's just dominance. It's just dominance, man. I don't know. I think Merab wins this fight by another landslide. I don't think there's anyone that can beat him. And I think it's Alexander Pantoja that can beat him because of the ground game. If he takes him down, I think Alexander will be the most experienced guy he's fought on the ground. Maybe besides Umar. Because people also Umar broke his wrist or something in that fight when they fought, so who knows. But what? Peter Yan just he's on a good fight win streak right now. He's on a 3-fight win streak since losing to Merab back in 2023. So I don't know, man. We'll see how this goes. And then he lost to, before his 3-fight winning streak, sorry. He lost to Merab, Sugar Sean, and Sterling. Damn. 3-fight losing streak to a 3-fight win streak. Damn. That's why he fell back more. But, he should not have lost to Sugar Sean. But, yeah, man. Merab's fought Peter Yan before. I think Peter Yan has learned a lot from that fight as well. He is also a very well-balanced fighter. A lot of good, well-balanced fighters in this pay-per-view event. But, I just don't think he will be able to stop Merab. He's too powerful. His cardio's too high. He can throw on the feet, and then he takes you down without you thinking about it, because he'll stay up and then throw a few jabs, throw a few hooks in there, mix it up, and then shoot. So he shoots when you least expect it, because he gets you confused when he's thrown on the feet, and then he takes you down. It's just, he's such a good fighter, and he's so experienced. He knows what he's doing. He knows, and he's in his prime right now. And when you have that confidence in your prime, where you just think you can't get beat, it's a real thing, dude. Confidence does a plays a big factor in the MMA world. Same with boxing too. Same with golf. Like, I think confidence is like such an important factor. I mean, in any sport, confidence is. And like when you have what the confidence Merab has right now and what he's doing and what he's been doing for the bantamweight division and the UFC, I don't see anything past it, you know. I think Merab will mix it up on the feet, shoot when he least expects it, and Peter Yan won't be able to stop it. I think that's why he's also minus 485 on this card. But yeah, it's gonna be a great one. I'm super pumped for this card. Give me Merab. I already said it like 30 times, but I'm so giddy about this, dude. It's gonna be so awesome. I can't wait to watch it with my boys this weekend. What else, man? What else? Let me touch on the Merab and Alexander Pantoja super fight. If Merab wins and Alexander Pantoja wins, they have done everything in their division, and they've cleaned everyone in the top 7 of the rankings in their division. And Merab needs to do something, like fight someone different. I don't think he should fight Umar again because, Umar won and against Mario Batista, not in dominant fashion. He almost got knocked out. Umar got dropped, and maybe that's what you do next for Merab if he wins. But I think it makes so much sense if Alexander Pantoja and Merab fight, because Merab's cleaned everyone 1 through 7. Same with Pantoja. He's fought in Moreno 3 times, and I think it wouldn't make sense. Or maybe he's fought Moreno twice. Anyways, he's already beat Moreno. He's already fought Royval and beat Royval twice. And it just doesn't make sense to keep throwing Pantoja guys that he's already beaten in the past. And in the past multiple times as well. If he beats Josh Van, who's ranked number 1, Merab's going to be a guy that's ranked number 3 as well. It just doesn't make sense to keep it going. I think it makes sense to make a super fight. And I think it will be something new that the UFC hasn't seen in a long time from the flyweight and the bantamweight division. And then the last person to do that's Henry Cejudo, back in 2020, 2019. So, I think that's what will bring numbers. People were so, happy and excited for those divisions when Henry Cejudo became Triple C and was defending his belt. It was awesome to see. If you look at it, 1 through 6, Pantoja's beaten Moreno at 2, Royval at 3. He's beaten he hasn't. Yeah, he beat Tatsuro Taira at 5, and then he beat Kape at 6. And then if you look at Merab, he's beaten number 1 Umar, he's beaten number 2 Shigashan twice. He's beaten number 3 Peter Yan. He just beat number 4 Corey Sandhagen. Has he beaten Figgy at 6? I don't but still, that's a bunch of guys, and and I just think it makes the most sense. So I mean, let me know what you guys think of that. Maybe let me know if Merab should fight Umar next if he wins. Let me know if Pantoja should fight Brandon Moreno if he wins next, or let me know if Merab versus Pantoja makes the most sense, man. I think it does. I think it would do numbers. It's going to be another great card, and I'm just so freaking pumped for it, man. That's really all I got for you guys. I know no one's here again today, and I'm sorry about that. It's just hard to find someone else to replace Carter right now, but I think we've been having a lot of fun together, just doing these shorter videos and making them more straight to the point, and also you guys get to understand what I fully think about certain fights too. I think it's been lots of fun. So just bear with me. We're gonna do fun things in the future. I'm just figuring it all out still, and we're only going up from here. I thank you guys so much for everything, all the support and whatnot. Let's just jump into the MK MMA pound for pound rankings. Pop them up right here as usual. It's the same as last week, It could jump a little after this week, and we got Merab at 3 and Pantoja at 4. Maybe what if someone loses? They're gonna drop, and then one of those guys fighting for the belt could jump all the way up. If I don't know what happens if Merab wins. Maybe I might bump Merab up to 2 actually if he wins, because it's just dominance. Ilya's been out. He I mean, he hasn't fought since like June, but he's going to be out for a while now. So I think I'm going to have to bump Merab up to 2. I think that's fair because also Ilya said he's going to be out for a minute. So I'm gonna keep my pound for pound rankings active. I'm not gonna have them hold back or anything. But yeah, Arman jumped at 15. He broke the top 15 for the MKMA platform last week. I think that all looks good there so far. Let me know what you guys think about the MMA pound for pound rankings. I think I think they're fun to do. I would love to do more stuff about them if you guys are more interested in it. Just let me know. Happy to do new things. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that damn bell. I love doing this. I can't wait to watch UFC 323 and have you guys see my reactions and my feed about this pay-per-view event. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Can't wait for the future. And, it's only up from here. Can't wait to do it. Love you guys.